Hello and welcome to Our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 340.
We woke up this morning here at Animal Kingdom Lodge Kidani Village in our 2-bedroom villa bright and early because we are going to try and get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance. You do have to be in the park when the park opens to try and get in the virtual queue. So we got ready, headed downstairs to the bus stop, and there was no time listed for the bus, and we're like, you know what? We have a car now. We are not relying on Disney transportation all the time. So we decided to drive to Hollywood Studios. We got there around 8:30. The park was supposed to open at 9, so we thought we were doing really great. And the boarding groups were already gone before the park even opened. And we're like, how does that work if they're not supposed to be released until the park opens? So we went to guest relations to ask about it because we wanted to be able to post and share what we're learning as we go. There was a very, very, very long line because there were some very unhappy guests in the park, as you can imagine. So we waited, got up there and asked why the boarding groups were gone. So they explained they were gone because the traffic was so bad outside the gate, they actually had to open it at 4 o'clock this morning. Now, to make it fair for resort guests, because a lot of resort guests do rely on Disney transportation, they start running buses at the same time whenever they open the gate. So they opened the gate, started letting cars in, started running buses at 4 a.m., which means now they have guests at the gate waiting to go inside, which then becomes a safety hazard when there's too many people. So they did have to open the park to protect everyone, keep them safe. And then they released the boarding groups, and then they were gone before the park opened. We're like, okay. So we went live on Facebook to explain all of this so that other people would know and learn. And we're gonna try and get a boarding group tomorrow, but at this point, there's nothing we can do. So we're gonna go have some fun. We're gonna meet some friends over in Epcot. So we headed over there. But first, we're gonna get some food because it's been a very long morning and we are starving.
We stopped in Sunshine Seasons inside the land to get one of our favorite dishes there, the pork chop that has homemade barbecue sauce on it. It is very, very good and a really good sized piece of meat. You also get a couple sides, so we got some mashed potatoes and green beans, and then we decided to get a dessert as well. There's a lot of different desserts here at Sunshine Seasons, but most of them Alyssa can't eat because they put lots of food coloring in them. So we just got the basic cheesecake with fruit sauce on top. It is real fruit made into a sauce. There's no food coloring in that. So we went and got a table and sat down and enjoyed our kind of lunch, really like a late breakfast, early lunch. We probably should have eaten before we went to the park anyway. And while we were eating, our friends got to the park, the ones who'd been staying with us, and we went and met up with them to go around World Showcase, checking out all the cool Christmas stuff they have for the Festival of the Holidays. And we were really just enjoying hanging out with them and catching up. We stopped in Italy because we saw there was something going on, some type of entertainment. Turns out they had a Christmas story going on with the Christmas Witch, which is apparently what they have for their tradition in Italy. She was really cool to watch, and we really enjoyed hearing her story.
I absolutely love the holiday traditions in every single country because you get to experience everything that they do, and a lot of it is so different from what we do in America, and I love learning about their traditions, new traditions, and the stories because there's so much history in every single country.
Now, Santa Claus, what does he fly on? Huh? What does he ride? You know the sleigh, see? And who pulled the sleigh for Santa, huh? Reindeer. The reindeer, see? Poor Ola Befana. She does not have a sleigh. She does not have reindeer, so what do you suppose La Befana flies on? The broom, see? Because I am a witch. Do I scare you? No. And what about getting only socks and underwear for Christmas, huh? That is scary.
We stayed for the entire time the Christmas Witch was there, hearing her story, and then we continued on to America because we really want to hear the Voices of Liberty sing their Christmas songs. But when we got over there, we checked the times and we were early. They are not singing yet. So we decided to hang out here in America until it was time because we want to watch the whole show and get a really good seat. So we were hanging out. We went to look at the food booth, went to the bathroom. We're just kind of hanging out here. And Robert and I start walking by this little area in America. And as we're walking, we're having a conversation. We both just stopped, backed up a little bit, looked over. We're like, that's Ashley Eckstein. Now, if you don't know who Ashley Eckstein is, she is one of my heroes. I love her. I don't get starstruck very often. I got starstruck today because I love her. She is the creator of Her Universe, which is a women's clothing brand, basically for nerds. It started with Star Wars and has branched out to other things like Harry Potter, but it was mainly Star Wars at first. She's also the voice of Ahsoka Tano, and I love her so much. I love her story. She is an amazing, sweet person, and I really wanted to go say hi to her, but Robert said I shouldn't. But then we were like being super awkward about it because we're like standing there, but like not standing there, but we're just far enough away. It was just super awkward. So I finally got the courage to walk up to her. I was like, hi, I just wanted to say, I absolutely love your clothes. And she goes, clearly, you're wearing my shirt. This shirt is actually from Her Universe. And the jacket I was holding was from Her Universe. I didn't even realize it or think about it. So then we started talking and I told her some of my favorite pieces. And then I showed her the pictures we took yesterday because that is a Her Universe dress as well. She absolutely loved the pictures. We had the best conversation. And then she goes, would you like to take a picture? I was like, yes, I would. Oh my goodness. So we took some pictures with her and she spent several minutes talking to us. And this made my day. I was on cloud nine after this. I have met one of my heroes. It was awesome.
I very much enjoyed talking with her as well. Ahsoka is my second favorite Star Wars character, so I was pretty happy we got to meet her, even though I didn't think we should bother her. I'm kind of glad that we did. We went on over into the American Adventure building, and it was time for the Voices of Liberty. We didn't get quite the good spot we were hoping to get because we stayed out there talking, but it was totally worth it. So we got into the rotunda and set up to video as they sang, and we really enjoyed their Christmas songs, and we do have the entire video linked down in the description if you want to watch that.
Christmas, Christmas, Christmas in the air. Christmas, 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 Christmas in the air. Christmas in the air. Christmas in the air. Christmas in the air. Listen to the bells ringing on the wells. Listen to the message everywhere that there is Christmas in the air. It's the most, it's the most, it's the wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoe and rosing and blowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful, most marvelous, wonderful, fabulous, marvelous, joyous, most joyous, most wonderful time of the year. The most wonderful, wonderful time of the year. Noel!
After the concert was over, we left the America Pavilion and headed on over to the International Gateway. We've heard that the Star Wars crowds have died down a little bit over at Hollywood Studios throughout the day. I'm assuming everyone was there trying to get the boarding group and then kind of left after they rode. So we took the Skyliner over from Epcot to Caribbean Beach and then from there to Hollywood Studios, and we went over to Galaxy's Edge, and it was still very busy, but it wasn't nearly as busy as it was yesterday or earlier this morning. As we're walking through, talking with our friends, we didn't really have anything particular in mind we wanted to do. We just wanted to be there and enjoy it. We didn't spend much time shopping yesterday, so we took them through the market to the Toydarian Toy Maker and the Creature Stall and all those different places. And then we went over to Ronto Roasters because we were all kind of hungry and they've never had Ronto wraps. So we had to introduce them to one of our favorite foods, and we ordered an entire tray of Ronto wraps for everyone. And every single person here loved the Ronto wraps.
It's always questionable when you talk something up, especially a food item, and then you're really hoping that the people trying it will actually like it, because then it's just going to be awkward. But thankfully everyone enjoyed it, and it is much more filling than you'd expect it to be, which is awesome. We continued walking through and went into one of the stores, and they had all these little droids, which is not unusual, but the droids had hats on, and not just any hats, they had little Santa hats. It was super adorable. I love it when cast members add little details like this because it just makes the guests have an even better day. There was even a cast member with a porg that had Christmas lights on. It was just awesome. We finally exited Galaxy's Edge, and as we entered Toy Story Land, the Green Army men were out having a lot of fun, literally having a ball. It was great.
That is where Green Army training will be in session. Falling line in from Toyna soldiers. Here we go. Let's fall in line and get ready to move on out.
They were even dressed up for Christmas. Well, kind of. they had scarves, so I guess that counts as
It
dressing
counts.
up. If you're Green Army Men, there's not a whole lot you can do, I guess. After their little show was over, we did leave the park. Our friends went to the bus stop to wait for a bus over to Kidani Village. We went to get our car that was parked here at Hollywood Studios since we park hopped to Epcot and we were here earlier this morning. We got in the car and drove back to Kidani, and when we got there, we had to pack up because tomorrow is moving day for us and our friends are leaving and heading back home. But we also are going to get up very, very early and make sure we get over there to get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance because it's been 2 days so far and we haven't ridden yet, and I'm going to ride tomorrow one way or another. So we're getting everything we can ready to go for tomorrow tonight. We also needed to watch the new episode of The Mandalorian because everyone here is caught up on the show. We're in a really, really good spot in the season right now, and we all have been dying to watch it. So we all gathered around in the living room to watch the new episode, and this show is so incredibly good. I think it gets better every single week, and it was a lot of fun having a bunch of people there with us to watch it because then we had all kinds of things to talk about after it was over. Once the show was done, we did finish getting everything ready and head to bed, and that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
For our Year with the Ears.